All right, and today we got the brainwash of Disney adults by internet education. Now, if y'all know me, bro, I fuck with theme parks, bro. I like Universal. I've been to Universal. I've been to Disney. I've been to Cedar Point. I don't have a picture of me at Cedar Point, which is kind of crazy. I don't have a picture of me at Cedar Point. Someone somewhere has pictures of me at Cedar Point, but I don't have them on my phone personally. But yeah. So I've love theme parks. They're one of the crazy, like, dopest things to me. So this is gonna be a very near and dear video to my heart, bro. I can't wait to get into this. But for the people over on YouTube, twitch.tv/Brando or whatever, if you want to see the reactions live in real time, like, subscribe, and let's get into it.
July of this year, a woman spent $35,000 on a 10-day Disney vacation and posted about it online, but refused to show her face on camera.
And I'm just asking, like, Disney adults how
That's
much
really
they pay
fun.
for their Disney vacation.
About $35,000.
$35,000. Wow.
She is what people refer to as a Disney adult who devotes their entire life to the Walt Disney Company. But our
Most people don't.
$35,000 woman isn't alone.
People my age don't even make $35,000 a year. Just to put that in. I say people my age. There's probably people older than me that don't make $35,000 a year. So
Hundreds of men and women across the country are pledging their life to Disney, defending them, and going into debt for
crazy,
the
isn't it?
corporation.
We've had Disney passes for 8 years.
You can't afford anything.
I love Disney. I love Disney.
Which is fine.
It's part. I mean, it's part of my childhood. Like, I always
Congratulations, turn
wanted
on
to
the
go.
Disney Channel.
This is the story of how two CEOs pulled off one of the greatest corporate psychological operations in history. How they created an army of addicts who now defend their own exploitation while funding Disney's failures. And how every corporation in America watched, took notes, and started...
Which, before you even get into this, I always thought it was crazy that people go like my friend Riley. Her and her family used to go to Disney every single year. I've never done that. I think the smallest span I've went to Disney is like every other year. So I went, like, let's say I went in 2013, I wouldn't go again until 2015. And I feel like even that was kind of like pushing it. But to go every year, half of the time, like, there's not even new stuff to do. It's just the same shit again. I don't know. I feel like you could spend that money on, like, a cruise or, like, a trip to somewhere else. I would feel better if you went to Disney World one year and went to Disneyland the next year. Like, I don't know. Just going to Disney World over and over again, like, and like mostly the way Disney World looks right now, you're gonna be like, oh my god, they moved that construction wall that was here that one time and put up a different one. Like, come on, bro.
copying what they did. By the end of this video, you'll realize Disney adults aren't just weird fans. They're a warning about a future we're all heading.
The problem is that adults today cling jealously to their childhood interests. They don't pass them down. They don't introduce a new generation to them. They hold on to them and say, no, this is still mine. This is mine.
No, I'm passing it
When
on to my
Michael
child.
Eisner first became Disney's CEO
That
in
gives me an
September
excuse to go back.
1984, the company was dying. Earnings had fallen to $94 million annually, down from $135 million
Okay, that is
just
a pretty
4
years
crazy. Earlier. A corporate raider named Saul Steinberg had just launched a hostile takeover attempt, and Disney was forced to pay him $325 million just to make him go away. This was what many considered the worst financial period in Disney's history. But Eisner had a strategy. According to Kim Masters' book, The Keys to the Kingdom, he wrote in an email, "Age decompression is key, and those who think Disney is only for kids are dead wrong." The plan was simple. They would decompress Disney's child-focused demographic to include adults. In other words, they would make Disney for grown-ups. If Disney could pull this off,
Okay.
the potential return on investment could be massive. So they got to work. He expanded Touchstone Films, Disney's adult movie division, and opened Pleasure Island at Disney World, a nighttime entertainment complex featuring adult nightclubs with live music and
Yeah, I watched a video about this in my free time. This kind of seemed like a dope thing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, as long as it like wasn't overly like, oh, you would have put on some Mickey Mouse. Actually, I'll put on some Mickey Mouse. All right, my pride ain't hurt, bro. I'll put on some Mickey Mouse ears and take a couple shots, bro. I'm cool like that. I'm a chill guy. I'm a chill guy, chat. I'm not gonna cap.
nightly New Year's Eve celebrations. And for the first time...
Wait a fucking minute. Wait a fucking minute, bro. Why? Why did I get stuck there? And then I got stuck as soon as I got back, bro.
Nightclubs with live music and nightly New Year's Eve celebrations. And for the first time in Disney park history, he added alcohol everywhere. Epcot Center opened in 1982 with alcohol available throughout World Showcase. Eisner basically wanted to turn grown-ups into Disney-loving, obsessed kids again.
Eisner launched another brand called Hollywood Pictures, which allowed them to further expand Disney's output, release even more films aimed at teens and adults, and increase the studio's overall market share.
But there was just one fatal flaw in his plan. The adults at that time still acted like adults. They grew up and moved on to other things. They didn't stay children forever, neither did they want to. Unfortunately, Eisner did not get to finish his plans before shareholders lost faith in him. By 2003, the shareholders had had enough. Roy E. Disney, Walt's nephew, resigned from the board and launched SaveDisney.com in December. At Disney's annual shareholders meeting in March 2004, something unprecedented happened. 43% of shareholders who voted withheld their support for Eisner's re-election. The board immediately stripped him of his chairman title.
Hi, I'm Roy Disney. Lately, though, I've become concerned with the direction in which the Disney company is moving. If you're a Disney shareholder, in my view, the best way to help save Disney is to vote no on the re-election of Michael Eisner, George Mitchell, Judith Estrin, and John Bryson.
Which is funny as fuck because this man would soon make them boatloads of money.
I believe a new day is dawning for the Walt Disney Company. And with your help, we can bring back the magic.
Less than a year later, in March 2005, Eisner announced his resignation, effective September of that year, 1 year before his contract would have expired. Eisner's experiment had failed spectacularly, but Bob Iger, Disney's next CEO, was watching, and he understood Eisner's fundamental mistake. You can't just make adult content and hope adults stay children. You have to weaponize childhood itself by making it impossible for people to ever leave their childhood behind. So he went on a buying spree. In January 2006...
Hey. No, we need to fix the face cam, bro. We need to fix the face cam, bro. This is actually getting me hot, bro. Like, I'm not touching it or nothing, bro. Like, it is just legitimately just stop working. I'm not gonna lie, bro. If it keeps freezing, like, after this, like, after I just took it out and plugged it back in, bro, I think I just need to get a new one. I can't count. But, basically, this is crazy. This is crazy. He said we can weaponize their childhoods. You're a dark man. And it worked.
Just months after becoming CEO, Disney acquired Pixar for $7.4 billion, and Steve Jobs became Disney's largest individual shareholder. 3 years later, in August 2009, Disney acquired Marvel Entertainment for $4 billion, which meant expanding their roster with over 5,000 characters, including Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, basically the entire Avengers. But here's where it gets interesting. That same year, just a few months before the Marvel deal, in March 2009, Disney created D23, the official community for Disney fans. Bob Iger announced it at Disney's annual shareholder meeting with this explanation. D23 is our way of saying thank you and celebrating our fans who bring the magic of Disney to life every day in every corner of the world. What he didn't say out loud, though, was that D23 was his ultimate weapon. Disney saw fan communities growing online and realized they needed to control the message, control the conversation, create an official hierarchy. 3 years after that, in October 2012, Disney acquired Lucasfilm for $4 billion, and that meant getting their hands on Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Industrial Light and Magic. The strategy was brilliant and simple. They didn't need to create new things if they managed to lock adults into their childhood forever. So, if you grew up with Toy Story, we'll make Toy Story until you die. If you grew up with Star Wars, we'll make Star Wars content until you're 80. If you grew up with Marvel Comics, we'll make Marvel movies until the sun explodes. In his book, The Ride of a Lifetime, Iger explained the strategy in remarkably blunt terms. We know how to leverage or mine value from intellectual property probably better than any media company out there. And we have the ecosystem to do it. Mine value. That's the language he used. He didn't say create or inspire or even entertain. No, he said mine as you would coal. After the Pixar deal closed, Steve Jobs reportedly told Iger, "Look what we did. We saved 2 companies." He was right, but what they really did was create the blueprint every other corporation would copy. The blueprint for how to arrest human development at age 8 while letting bank accounts mature to age 35.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
The religion was taking shape, but to understand how deep this goes, we need to look at what actually defines a religion. In 1973, anthropologist Clifford Geertz created a 5-part definition in his work, The Interpretation of Cultures. His definition breaks religion down into 5 essential elements: a system of symbols, teachings about the nature of existence, behavioral indoctrination, ritual performance, and treating these conceptions as real. Disney checks every single box. First, they created a system of symbols. Mickey Mouse has a 97% name recognition rate in the United States, which is higher than Santa Claus, meaning that a corporate...
97%? Who the fuck are the 3% that... Babies? Like, literal newborn children don't know who Mickey Mouse is? Like, there's no way there's a... Hey, you cannot get to 10 years old without... Oh, the Amish. Do the Amish not know Mickey Mouse? Oh, wait. I didn't even think of them.
Mascot is more recognizable than a figure from centuries of Christian tradition. But Disney doesn't just create its own symbols. It appropriates religious imagery and repackages it as entertainment. In Snow White, the poison apple comes from the Garden of Eden, and she prays on her knees, asking God to bless the 7 dwarfs. In Pinocchio, Geppetto being swallowed by a whale parallels the story of Jonah. In The Lion King, the opening ceremony where Rafiki anoints Simba resembles Christian baptism, and the circle of life is lifted from Hindu concepts of reincarnation.
It's so interesting to see how basically the most famous kids entertainment company used to very much include Bible verses as well as a ton of Christian references when it comes to prayer and self-sacrifice.
Second, we have the teachings about the nature of things, and Disney tries its best to preach a very specific worldview, that we should all practice a Protestant work ethic, but without God. According to Disney movies, hard work always leads to success. Good always wins. Evil always loses. And all you have to do is just believe in yourself for magical things to happen. One scholar calls this secular toonism, where magic replaces divinity, but the moral framework stays the same. And third, there's behavioral indoctrination. Walt Disney once said, I think... And third...
I'm not gonna lie. If I saw this when I walked into... I think they're doing yoga, though, because there's yoga mats on the ground. But if I, walked into this and I didn't know what was going on, I'm leaving. I don't want my money back. After how much money I spent, I think I definitely want my money back. But I'm leaving. What the hell is this? I'm leaving.
There's behavioral indoctrination. Walt Disney once said, I think of a child's mind as a blank book, which echoes the Jesuit strategy. Give me a child before 7, mine for life. But Disney doesn't stop when you become an adult. They follow you with Marvel, Star Wars, and live-action remakes, so that by the time you're 30, you've literally never left the Disney universe. Fourth, ritual and performance.
I 240% Arkham Knight, boss. You beat it twice. Did all the side quests twice. What's the 40%? What is the 40%? New Game Plus? What is the 40%?
And this is where it gets really disturbing, because Disney parks have started to operate like pilgrimage sites. In 1980, anthropologist Alexander Moore published a study concluding that Disney World borrowed from the archaic pilgrimage
that's kind of fire.
The multi-stage journey to the Magic Kingdom mirrors a traditional pilgrimage, and 70 to 90% of Americans have Disney World borrowed from the archaic pilgrimage center. The multi-stage journey to the Magic Kingdom mirrors a traditional pilgrimage, and 70 to 90% of Americans have visited a Disney park, according to the Smithsonian. which is one of the few things that 70% of Americans agree on. These parks have become almost sacred spaces.
Why the fuck are we putting yoga mats in the middle, right in front of the castle, bro? I know they not doing Mickey yoga instructions out there, bro. Y'all niggas are weird. And even if they did, I don't know if I would do that. Probably once for the vibes. I don't know if I would do that, though. In the middle, like, because then I got to pay the admission to just go to Disney World. Nah, bro.
Your way that cast members get around is through the utilidors. There is just this maze of tunnels that go everywhere. Not for entertainment, I can tell you that. But all cast members basically enter the utilidors at the same place, and then from there, they walk to wherever they're going. You're not allowed to walk in the park outside of your land. That is going out of theming, and it is not allowed.
You're not allowed to
Which
litter
makes
and to
sense.
swear.
Which
But
makes
most
sense.
importantly, you are not allowed to acknowledge reality. Employees
Nigga,
are
what?
cast members who perform in an eternal show,
Oh,
wearing
yeah.
costumes and working on stage or backstage. And they must stay in
That's
character
crazy.
at all times. Just to make it easier to disconnect from the real world, the parks exist outside normal time with no clocks and no current events. Main Street USA is a sanitized 1950s America with all the ugliness removed. Everywhere you look, there are rituals like the rope drop, character dining, pin trading, and annual pass holder events.
Okay. I get what bro's trying to say. But like in theory, none of this stuff is bad, bro. I'd be mad as fuck if you get one time, bro. You get one time, okay? You get one time. But anyway, I would be mad as fuck, right? If I was like, if I was what the fuck was I saying? Oh my god, I'd be mad as fuck if I was at like Disney World having a great day and everybody was just like, yeah, isn't it sad that like we just bombed Venezuela or something, bro? I don't want to talk about that right now, bro. Like I want to get on the Tower of Terror and have a good time, bro. The last thing I want to talk about is current events. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that makes sense not to acknowledge reality. Like, obviously, like they're saying it like it's way worse than what it is. Like I've been to Disney World on multiple occasions. It's not like they're like, "What's Michigan?" When I go, I'm from Michigan. They don't understand. The only people that might say that is like the real character actors. Like when I met Merida from Brave, like obviously she was like, what the fuck is a Michigan? You get what I'm saying? Because she's like canonically from like Ireland or like Scottish or something, dude. In like the 1600s. She don't even know what America is, bro. That shit ain't even been discovered yet. Oh well, I mean it's been discovered, but like that shit not even like a country yet. Like, you know, they didn't stamp the flag on that bitch yet, bro. Like Michigan not a thing there.
And in 2025, Disney opened GEO 82, an adults-only bar inside Spaceship Earth.
But yeah, I would hold on to that
which you can
until
only enter if you are
probably
over
the next
21
stream. Probably
and
the
you
next
have a
stream.
reservation, similar to religious temples geared towards adults. Fifth, we have the conceptions being taken as real. And that's how we got full-on grown-ass adults crying when Disneyland reopened after COVID, or adults getting married at Disney parks for a minimum of $15,000 for the venue. And then there's Golden Oak, a community inside Disney World where homes cost
$15,000. What?
Or adults getting married at Disney parks for a minimum of $15,000 for the venue.
50,000. Oh my god. To be fair, I saw some of the wedding photos at the Avatar World there, dude. It would have been perfect if it wasn't a theme park, especially at night. Bro. 15,000. I'd do it. I don't think I would have a problem. That's a lot of money though. A lot of money I'm not trying to throw. Look it up, bro. If you're a baller, it's worth it. Like I said, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But my problem is I'm broke. That's my problem.
Venue. And then there's Golden Oak, a community inside Disney World where homes cost $1.5 million to over $20 million. But don't think you actually own the property. Of course not. These
Yeah, the
properties
mouse
are
own
deeded
that
for
shit.
99 years, then returned to Disney. with the added privilege of paying $26,000 to $30,000 yearly fees. One resident said, "I wanted to see the dream in person to make it more real."
Excuse me.
For these people,
That's a
Disney
rich
World
flex.
has become more real than reality. Their new church has become their home.
See, look, bro. These niggas that's making TikToks, bro, those are the weird ones, bro. The rest of us are cool, bro.
And the sinister
I'm
difference.
not even a Disney adult, bro. I honestly, I've said this in many streams, many like videos. I like Universal better. When I go to Florida in October, I'm going to Universal. I might stop at Disney for like a day or two, but we're going for Universal.
Between a traditional religion and what Disney does. Traditional religions demand sacrifice, ethical behavior, self-examination, delayed gratification, and moral responsibility.
Disney does all that.
religion demands only
Bro,
consumption.
like I said, if I'm seeing that,
you
I'm
get
running.
ecstasy, community, purpose, and identity. And all you need to do
That donut
is
does look
open
good.
your wallet. You have to do nothing else. No need to consider moral responsibility or self-improvement or sacrifice. You get to feel like a child again, returning to a better time.
Hey, he's cherry picking the hell out these videos, bro. There's a common denominator in all of these videos, and I don't want to be that guy, but there's a common denominator in all of these videos, bro. But I've seen Disney adult videos, bro. That's not the common denominator, bro. That's not the common denominator, bro. These are cherry picked as fuck, bro. These are mad cherry picked.
Just by spending money.
These
That's
are
why
mad
critics call it a religion that has been perfectly optimized for capitalism. There's a French philosopher named Bernard Stiegler who spent his career studying how consumer
Bernard Stiegler,
capitalism
Bernard?
deliberately
I think his name's
infantilizes
Bernard.
people. His argument was simple. Fully formed adults make terrible customers because they think long-term, they fix broken things instead of replacing them, they think critically about purchases, and they can delay gratification. Children, on the other hand, are perfect consumers because they live entirely in the present moment with zero concept of future consequences. They want things immediately and will throw tantrums if denied, making them purely emotional decision makers with no logic involved. They're incredibly easy to influence with bright
So he got a
colors,
baseball bat in his
mascots,
hand
and
watching that
simple
tablet.
messages, since they don't understand money or long-term costs. They don't
Check out the disc photo. Oh, this is tough. Wait, no, that is fire. Wait, I'm gonna put this on stream. Whoa. Whoa, no, that is fire. What? What? This is the Pandora wedding, bro? 15K? I could save up for this. That's fire. That's dope. Oh, that's fire. Gotta make sure all her bridesmaids are smiling. Yeah. Good job. Good job. No, that's fire. I'm now not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to the idea now. I'm now not opposed to the idea. That was, oh my God, that shit is beautiful. That shit is beautiful.
don't fix anything either. They just want a new replacement, which from a corporation's perspective makes them the ideal customer profile. So the wheels at Disney began to turn. What if they could create adults who think like children, but have adult bank accounts? and
Bro,
credit
stop showing me
limits?
these fucking
They'd be the perfect
TikToks.
consumer because they'd have an adult's disposable income with the impulse control of a child. And the metrics prove this strategy worked. According to a 2024 analysis, only 36.7% of Disney World visitors come from households with children under 18, which means approximately 63% are from households without children. A former Disney Parks
do we deem that as a problem? Do we deem that as a problem? I've said this in another video that we made about Disney. I went to Disney World with my friends in 2024, and it was a lot of their first times being there. The oldest one being 24 at the time. So it was a lot of them, a lot of their first time being there. I feel like that. I feel like that makes sense because like there's some households that physically cannot, you know, mostly with the economy now, There's a lot of people that physically cannot pay for that for a family of 5, mostly 3 children that can't pay for themselves. You get what I'm saying? So like I don't see that as a big like no. Like if my kid has a job and is like 18, bro, like and bro's never been to Disney World, I'd ask him. I'd be like straight up like, do you want to go to Disney World, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't know.
Executive stated that on a given day, 40% to 50% of park goers at Disney World could be child-free adults. And even more revealing is that
again, that's like nitpicking, because like again, when we went in 2024, all of us were adults. We were all 20 or older. I think I was 19. No, I was 20. We were all 20 or older. So if we're all 20 or older and we don't have children, we are child-free adults. But that doesn't make it weird. It's not weird for us to be. I don't know. I don't know. That feels like a very
42% of people who waited in line to meet characters at Disney parks were childless adults. Disney saw this shift happening and pivoted hard to accommodate it. In 2012, Be Our Guest restaurant became the first restaurant in Magic Kingdom's 41-year history to serve alcohol. By 2018, all sit-down restaurants in Magic Kingdom were serving alcohol. Today, more than
they're selling alcohol. Water parks sell alcohol. Universal has been selling out. I'm pretty sure Universal has probably been selling alcohol for a while. Oh, my stomach just fucking rumbled. Cedar Point, I know for a fact is sold alcohol. Oh my god, the mouse is selling alcohol. Get a fucking job. Get a job, bro.
110 Disney World venues serve alcohol, including every sit-down restaurant in all 4 theme parks.
If we're really like, if alcohol is the problem, bro, I know fathers that used to drink beers at my little league soccer games, bro. As a jit, I would be playing soccer and two players' dads would be drinking beers, bro. God forbid. Like, bro.
After all, what better way to attract adults than by giving them booze, while also further lowering their impulse control? They even engineered the parks at a psychological level to trigger childhood nostalgia. For example, Disney was granted a patent in 1986 for smell-emitting systems called smellitizers that use pressurized air and fans to distribute scents across the park and trigger memories and nostalgia. Everything is designed to make you feel like a child again, to lower your psychological defenses, and basically to make you stop thinking like an adult and open your wallet with no consideration of the consequences. And it's working. In the meantime, actual adult skills are disappearing
I don't
from
think that's how that works. I don't think that's how it works. And maybe I might be smarter than the average bear, bro. But like, if no smell at Disney World has ever made me walk in there and be like, $3,000. Here you go. What? No, bro. Like, there's been times that I've been at Disney World that I was sitting there and I looked at something. Like, I looked at a tiara once and I was like, we not buying that for you, shawty. Please. I would. But how are we going to eat for the rest of this trip? that is the question.
Population in the real world. Adulting classes are now teaching 20 to 30-year-olds how to sew buttons, cook eggs, and do laundry. Michigan State University launched Adulting 101 in 2019 with sessions on money management, community engagement, conflict resolution, and basic home skills.
People
They've had
actually
between
need this,
50 and 1,000 participants per session. UC Riverside has an entire adult program designed to support students.
I think this has less to do. I'm gonna let him finish, but this has less to do with Disney and more to do with broken homes. That's what this has to do with. This is more of a psychological family analysis here.
Meeting their basic needs.
It seems Gen Z is having a very difficult time in the workplace.
Some of the reasons they listed, well, a lack of motivation, a lack of initiative, a lack of professionalism, poor organizational skills, poor communication skills.
Yeah, I can say all this. Lack of motivation, one. Why am I working 40 hours a week, being on time all the time? to, one, get paid a based rate, so I don't get paid on how good the performance is. And also, two, if I do go above and beyond, 9 times out of 10, I don't get a raise. I don't get a promotion. I don't get anything. You get what I'm saying? Because the people above me don't want to move up. They don't want to retire. They don't want to do anything. So why am I going above and beyond for nothing? Lack of initiative again. What's the initiative? I could be like, I'm gonna move up in this company, bro. Gregory is gonna sit there until he's fucking 80. Till he's 80. He can't even wipe his own ass, but he makes sure he's at work all the time. He's clocked in all the time, bro. Like, even at my job now, there's literally people that since I've started working at my job is like, we're gonna retire. Yeah, we're retiring this year. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years, gang, and they have not retired. They have not retired, and they're there for every overtime shift, every this, every that. That's the economy, bro. I'm not even mad at them, bro. That's just how the economy is. But like, come on, bro. Lack of professionalism, bro. Let me put the list up while I talk about it. Lack of professionalism. I bet money right now, if you were still watching this video, give me your craziest lack of professionalism story in the comments, bro. Give me your craziest lack of professionalism story in the comments, because I swear the adults in my mostly my old job I had, oh my god, I might make a job stories video, because oh my god, there was moments where I wanted to crash the fuck out in that bitch, bro. Poor organizational skills, again, I mean, some people have poor organizational skills, some people don't. Poor communication skills, some people have poor communication skills, some people don't. I feel like these two are, again, household upbringing. It's a lot that goes into that, because I know people with phenomenal organizational skills and phenomenal communication skills, and I know people that don't, and I know people that are developing them. So there's that. Difficulty working as a team, that's anybody though. Again, I feel like these last three are upbringing and personal household things.
Difficulty working as a team.
These were supposed to be the most educated, most credentialed generations in human history. So where did all the competency go? It went.
Some of them are very. I feel like I'm like defending Disney adults, because I feel like people. There's a baseline. There's people that like Disney, and then there's Disney adults. You get what I'm saying? Disney adults are people that will watch every remake and watch every they'll watch every remake, never plan on having kids, or they got a Disney Vacation Club membership and they're there every week, and the only reason why they work is to go to Disney on their breaks and do this and do that, and they consume without ever thinking. I don't know any adult in their right mind that does that. But to say it's the Disney's making you smell things so then it lowers your inhibitions, bro, you have no self-restraint. That is not Disney's fault that you have no. I mean, Disney is obviously trying to leverage the playing field, but like, bro, it is not Disney's fault that you have no self-restraints, bro. Because like I said, none of that stuff that he's named has ever made me be at Disney World and be like, here you go, take it. Never. Never. Like, come on, bro. But yeah, no. Most educated, again, most people, like, I see this tweet all the time, and I quote it all the time. Bro said it is so hard to find a job in this economy, and mostly like a job that is worth doing, that I might as well follow my dreams. I mean, come on, bro.
Into Disney expertise. They can tell you every restaurant menu at every Disney park. They know every ride wait time pattern.
Bro, these are cherry picked, bro. I'm telling
every
you,
pin
bro. They're
release
not
schedule,
all big
every
people,
character appearance time, every hidden Mickey location, every secret menu item. That's where the cognitive capacity went.
Most
into
of those
mastering
are
a theme park instead of mastering
I know
life.
a couple things here and
Into
there.
becoming experts at consumption instead of experts at living. Into escaping life rather than living it. This isn't an accident. This is exactly what Stiegler warned about. He called it symbolic misery. which is basically what happens when people stop creating things.
Okay. I'm hearing you. Now, Disney has done this, okay? I'm going to agree with you there. But also, too, you could say the art of consumption is just life as it is. I mean, every company does it now. Unless that's what he's leading into, is that Disney set the precedent, and now every company does it. But, like, people were doing this since the beginning of time. Some people used to work 40 hours a week just so they could go get a drink every day. like liquor, alcohol, or alcohol and liquor are one and the same. But like weed, other substances that I can't say. But like people have worked their ass off to go consume those things. Like this is the art of consumption. I would say maybe has gotten a little bit worse, but it's never not been a thing. I mean, it's always been a thing in our lives.
And only consume them. When you stop thinking critically and
crazy.
only react emotionally, when you stop being an adult and only feel like a child, you become the perfect customer. And Disney proved it works. Let me show you exactly what this looks like in real life. Stephanie and Michelle are both in their late 20s. At the time of the video, they'd been together for 8 years and were planning to get married in March. Their combined household income was $7,000 a month. And then we find out that in one single month, they spent 3 times their income. Stephanie had just graduated from nursing school after 10 years because she worked full-time while going to school part-time. She had $15,000 in federal student loans at 4% interest with a $163 minimum monthly payment. But she didn't pay it, and the loans went into collections. Her excuse was, my email was getting very full, so I didn't see the payment notices.
Why are you past due? You make money. You guys bring in $7,000 a month net. What is happening?
So my student loans had been deferred for so long because I was in school continuously.
Yeah, and then they give you 1,000 warnings that it's about to start via phone calls and emails and mail.
Yeah, my email was getting very full. So I did eventually see it because I logged into the account and saw that it was past due, which is why I realized that I do need to start paying back on them.
Yes.
But during this same period, when her email was too full to see federal loan notices, she bought $2,000 worth of Disney annual passes for both of them. Her justification: it was my treat to myself for finishing nursing school.
The passes were $2,000.
Okay.
And when I was in nursing school, we said...
You're talking about Disney right now? What are we doing?
Well, I told myself it would be my treat for like finishing nursing school.
You don't get treats if you're not paying your fucking bills.
When they were confronted with their poor decisions, she said, I didn't have my childhood, so I need this now. Here's the deeper disaster. Stephanie spent 10 years in school part-time, deliberately extending her education for an entire decade so she lost her 20s, which is the most important decade for compound investment growth. Now, she's finally making good money at $36 an hour plus an 18% night differential, bringing home $4,400 a month. And she immediately blows it on Disney.
We went to Disney once in November, and then we went a couple weeks ago.
I'm going twice in January.
We're going twice in January? What the? Rich people don't do that. And you guys are doing it?
And since we already have the passes, we're not paying for the tickets to get into the park.
That doesn't matter. $1,000 for a day. Guys, you make $7 a month net, and you blew through a seventh of it in a day?
So, the passes were... I'm assuming that... I don't know if they said the passes were $2,000 for each of them, or $1,000 for each of them. Let's say it's $1,000 for them, because she said the passes were $2,000, so I think that meant for both of them. So, a band each. Okay, you have 365 days a band each, but they live in Arizona. First off, why didn't you get passes to Disneyland? First off, I don't know why you didn't do that. Second off, because at least Disneyland, you could drive. You know what I'm saying? You could drive over there. But Disney World, you deliberately have to catch a plane. And I don't know. I feel like the only people that should have be pass holders of Disney, annual pass holders of Disney World, are people that live in Florida and its surrounding areas. People that can drive and make the conscious decision, we're going. You get what I'm saying? Enough. Because if you live in, I live in Michigan. If you live in Michigan and you are an annual pass holder, you literally have to pay about a $200 flight. And that's being generous. I don't actually know. But like, I would say $80 to $200 for the flight. Then you have to pay for a hotel room. Then you either have to rent a car or Uber or something. Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, I know people that like live in Michigan that have Cedar Point annual passes. Makes sense. Cedar Point is like a 2-hour drive. You can drive there, drive back. If you have to get a hotel, the hotels are like not even like, they're relatively cheap compared to Disney World. Cedar Point is a regional theme park. Disney World is something, it's got world in the name, bro. It's got fucking world in the name. No, she made a horrible money decision, bro. Horrible money decision.
She genuinely doesn't understand that spending over $1,000 on hotels, food, and travel, each visit negates any concept of free. This is child logic trapped in an adult body with a nursing degree and a $50,000 salary. And this is the 4th time they've done this. They accumulate massive debt, get a lump sum to pay it off, then immediately build it right back up. The first time they used severance pay after a job loss. The second time was the COVID stimulus. The third time was a car accident settlement, which got them $9,000 each. Each time they paid off debt, then built it right back up for Disney. Now for the 4th time, they consolidated their credit cards into a personal loan. What did they do immediately after? Put $5,000 back on the cards within weeks. For Disney passes, trips, merchandise, food, everything Disney. When asked if they learned anything from doing this 4 times, the response, I figured because I was working now, everything would balance out. It didn't balance. It got worse.
You spent beyond double what you make. You spent triple what you make.
We just like to have fun, and I feel like we have a lot of fun together whenever we go to Disney.
This is what Stiegler warned about, and precisely what Disney engineered. The perfect consumer, someone who will destroy their financial future, ignore federal obligations, and sacrifice every adult milestone to feel like a child over and over again. Let's return to the woman we opened with. The one who spent $35,000 on a 10-day Disney vacation and refused to show her face on camera.
And I'm just asking, like, Disney adults how much they paid for their Disney vacation.
No, I don't want my face on there.
Okay.
About $35,000.
$35,000, wow.
Even at Disney's massively inflated prices, you have to actively try to spend $35,000 in 10 days. She was staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is a nice hotel.
Okay.
But it's not a $35,000 for 10 days nice hotel.
It's
so
not.
what did that $35,000 actually buy?
Yeah, what is
Park
it?
tickets for the entire family, 10 nights at the hotel, all food for 10 days at $8 pretzels, $4 bottles of water, and $20 per meal. Then there's the merchandise purchases that ran into the thousands. Of course, we can't forget the character dining experiences at $60 to $80 per meal, where characters visit your table, or the special tours and experiences, and probably VIP tour guides at $450 to $900 per hour. It's ridiculous, and the comments on her video said it all.
Jimmy Bell.
For $35,000, I could live in Italy for 3 months. That's a down payment on a house. That's
bro.
a full year of college tuition.
Bro.
That's a new car paid in full.
Bro.
So Disney created this army of adults
all of this
going
is
into
true.
debt to relive their childhood, treating the parks like a religion. And you'd think with all that devotion, with all that money flowing in, Disney would be thriving. But you'll be dead wrong, because the theme parks are actually subsidizing catastrophic losses everywhere. Strange World, for example, lost $197 million. Lightyear lost $106 million, and Wish lost $131 million, while the Marvels
Didn't
lost
watch any of those.
$230 million,
Didn't watch any
becoming
of that.
Disney's biggest bomb of 2023. And we can't forget Indiana Jones 5, which lost $134 million.
How about you make an original movie? How ass nigga. I know like 2 of those were original movies, but like, bro, they didn't even look good, bro.
Well, for Disney, it's been a year of flop after fail, after bomb, after dud, after I'm running out of vocabulary to describe all of the box office woes the Walt Disney Company has suffered in 2023, now seemingly turning in their 7th flop of the year. And, well, you know what they say. You can wish in one hand and crap in the other. and see which one you fill first.
Even their wins have razor-thin margins because they need billion-dollar blockbusters just to offset these $200 to $300 million budgets plus marketing. Meanwhile, the parks are a pure profit machine that generated $34.2 billion in 2024. Disney is bleeding money on content, so they're squeezing the parks harder. That's why prices keep going up while quality keeps going down, why maintenance gets deferred, why cast members are understaffed, and why park hours get cut.
I honestly believe that they could take some of this money, because no one asked for Lightyear. No one wanted Lightyear, bro. No one wanted Lightyear. I don't think anyone asked for a new Indiana Jones movie. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you got to make Captain the Marvels because, you know, like, you know, the MCU or whatever. But maybe you could have made that into a show. You know, something. You know what I'm saying? But you could have saved so much money, and then you could have dumped it into the theme parks. Honestly, bro, as a theme park enjoyer, and the reason why I love Universal so much is because they take most of their money and go right back into the theme parks, bro. And that's why you barely have to. You don't sit there and be like, "Wow, a construction wall at Universal, bro." They usually be making shit pretty fast, bro. Like Disney, 18 years, bro. Tron, bro. Let's not even talk about Tron, bro. Tron took like 5 years. I don't know. Pop the article on the screen, Future Brando. But like, Tron took X amount of years to fucking make a roller coaster that they made in like China in like a year. Like,
movie division is cannibalizing the parks. Disney did try making original content with Lightyear, Strange World, and Wish, but they focused on checking boxes instead of telling compelling stories people wanted. Lightyear removed the fun buzz everyone loved for a serious dude, while Strange World felt like a corporate-approved project with no heart behind it. Wish was supposed to celebrate 100 years of Disney magic, but it turned out to be the most generic, forgettable thing they've made in decades. These movies failed because Disney forgot story comes first, and when you prioritize message over magic, you get neither, just expensive slop. So Disney's solution has been to stop bothering and stick to sequels and remakes.
Hollywood remains very franchise-obsessed. Franchise films are as close to a guarantee as any studio can get in the ever-changing, streaming-dominated marketplace. That said, just because something is connected to a franchise doesn't mean that people automatically want to see it. Perhaps a Toy Story spin-off of some kind could have been successful, but this clearly wasn't the winning formula.
But because new movies keep failing, Disney has no fresh IP to drive park attendance. Frozen worked and got an Epcot land, while Moana got a water ride. But since then, nothing has been.
It didn't get a water ride, bro. Switch those. Frozen got the water ride. And then, hey, bro, look. I spend a lot of time, okay, watching Poseidon's Entertainment in Defunct Land, bro. I know some shit.
And sticky enough to build around. So they fall back on their old IPs. They're not creating new reasons for families to visit, just doubling down on Disney adults who come regardless. And this is where it gets brilliant and horrifying at the same time. Disney adults actively defend their own exploitation. All you have to do is scroll any comment section about price increases and you'll see things like, they need to raise prices for crowd control. If you can't afford it, don't go. Real fans find a way. They've convinced themselves that being priced out makes them special and makes their devotion more meaningful. Meanwhile, they're drowning in debt with wages getting garnished and marriages falling apart, but they'll still attack anyone who criticizes Disney. So the cycle feeds itself. Movies lose money, parks get squeezed harder, the experience degrades, prices rise, families get priced out, only addicts remain, and those addicts defend everything, which means Disney has zero incentive to improve. The system reinforces itself, but there's a fatal flaw Disney hasn't accounted for. The traditional Disney model worked for 70 years because it was generational. Parents took their kids, those kids grew up loving Disney, then those kids took their own kids. Multi-generational loyalty made Disney an American institution. Disney broke this cycle by focusing on extracting maximum revenue from Disney adults while pricing out families with actual children. Disneyland tickets range from $104 to $224, meaning that a single day for a family can set you back $900 just for tickets, and a 4-day trip will average $4,000 with the extras.
Get my lawyer.
Young parents today can't afford this, which means their kids aren't going, aren't forming magical memories, aren't bonding with the brand. In 20 to 30 years, those kids won't feel compelled to take their own children because they never went themselves.
Yeah.
The nostalgia conveyor belt is breaking. Currently, only 36.7% of Disney visitors have kids, meaning 63% are adults without children. The parks are filled with 30 to 45-year-olds reliving their childhood. But whose childhood is being created right now? Nobody's. Current Disney adults were born in the 1980s and 90s, grew up on Renaissance Disney with memorable movies like The Little Mermaid, The Lion King, and Beauty and the Beast. It was a time when the Disney Channel played constantly. VHS tapes got watched hundreds of times, and their parents could actually afford to take them to parks when tickets were $35 to $40. They were marinated in Disney from birth. Kids today grow up on YouTube, TikTok, Roblox, and Fortnite, while Disney Plus is just another streaming service among dozens, not the defining cultural force it once was. And they're not going to parks because their parents can't afford it. The math is devastating because today's Disney adults are between 30 and 45. In 20 to 30 years, they'll be between 50 and 75 with their peak spending behind them. Who replaces them? The kids who never went? The YouTube generation that thinks Disney is creatively dead? There's no next generation waiting because Disney chose to squeeze every dollar from millennials instead of building the next generation of fans. Disney's 30-year nostalgia machine is sputtering, but they've already proven the concept works. It's just their implementation that sucks. So every other corporation in America watched, took notes, and started building their own, more improved versions. The playbook is simple. You don't have to create anything new. All you have to do is just endlessly recycle the past. Bring back brands from people's childhoods and make them adult. But make them just different enough that you can't just buy the old version. You have to reimagine or reboot or remake so people buy it all over again. Take Transformers. You loved them as a kid in the 1980s. But Hasbro doesn't just re-release those 1980s toys because you could buy those used for cheap. Instead, they create new movie series, new designs, new adult collector lines.
Transformers was actually good though.
Where toys now cost $200 to $800 instead of $15. They're marketed as premium collectibles for serious fans. They're the same characters with the same nostalgia triggers, but now it's sophisticated. You're not buying toys, you're investing in collectibles. You're not playing, you're simply displaying your passion. And that's how you get people willing to pay up to $40,000 for
Again, more power to them. But also too, I don't know. I feel like maybe this is going over my head because of the fact of I'm not dumb enough to pay for this shit. I'm not dumb enough to pay for this shit, bro. Like maybe that's why it's just because, bro, if I see I don't care how much I like something. If I see an $800 collectible, I'm going to sit there and I'm gonna be like, and I'm going to be like, that's cool as fuck. And then I'm going to walk away, bro. Wish I had the money for that. And then I'm going to walk away, bro. Like
Optimus Prime from 1984.
I declare bankruptcy!
And you'll buy every version because each one triggers that childhood feeling, and you'll defend these purchases viciously if your decisions are questioned, because questioning the purchase means questioning your childhood, which means questioning you. And we know it's working because the kidult economy has exploded. For example, LEGO launched their Adults Welcome campaign in 2020 as an explicit admission that they're targeting adults too, and not just children.
This is Bryce, a lover of all things retro, analog and mechanical. Find your flow. Build with Lego bricks. Adults welcome.
Within a few years, their revenue hit $10 billion. They're marketed as relaxation and mindfulness and self-care for adults, meaning that you aren't playing with toys, you're engaging in mindful building, and you're certainly not avoiding your responsibilities. You're practicing self-care, which you absolutely deserve. The language is carefully designed to justify the expense, regardless.
Two things can be true at once. I could be doing both of those things. But I am playing with toys, bro. Lego was made for children, and now I just like to play with Legos as an adult. I really don't understand, bro. Like, people play video games as an adult. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. I get what he's trying to say about, like, they'll spend obnoxious amounts of money, but just say that, bro. They'll spend this video didn't need to be 40 minutes, bro. Like, they'll pay obnoxious amounts of money. Call it a day, bro. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing the thing. Maybe, like, because I guess I could say, yeah, it's a little predatory for Disney to be doing this, but again, I am not dumb enough to fall for it, bro. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just not dumb enough to fall for it.
Of whether you can actually afford it. Another example is Hello Kitty that was created in 1974, which means she's 50 years old. For 30 years, she was a children's character on school supplies, but in the 2000s, she was reinvented for adult consumption. Now there are Hello Kitty designer purses selling for $800, Balenciaga Hello Kitty bags going for $2,000, Hello Kitty makeup and home goods and fashion explicitly marketed to women in their 40s. A children's character from the 1970s is now a lifestyle brand for middle-aged women. And let's not forget Pop Mart selling blind box collectible toys where you don't know what you're getting until you open
this
it,
one
which
this one is stupid. The blind box collectibles, this one's no. I can agree with you on this one. This one is overly stupid. You're paying for something that you don't know what you're gonna get and whatever. And like, I understand people are like, what's the difference? You know, it's just like collecting baseball cards or something. I feel like baseball cards have so much. There's so much more to that. You get what I'm saying? First off, baseball cards, you get like 8 in a pack or something. I don't know. I don't buy baseball cards. But like, you get like 8 in a pack or something. And there's about, I know in the NBA there's about like 400 players. I'm pretty sure in the MLB it's probably over 400 players. So again, dude, it's so many more variations of anything. Because don't you only get like one in these Pop Mart things?
Machine mechanics applied to toys.
Yeah,
you pull the lever or open the box, get a random result, and get a dopamine hit if you get something rare. The company is expected to rake in $4.2 billion in revenue this year, with adults lining up to buy $30 mystery boxes to complete the set. Then there's Labubu, those small collectible figures with a creepy cute aesthetic that exploded in 2023 to 2024 after Blackpink Lisa showcased one on Instagram. Adults are camping outside stores, paying $100 for small figures, collecting hundreds, dedicating entire social media accounts to their Labubu collections, and meeting up with other collectors. Labubu generated about $400 million in revenue in 2024, which was a 700%.
Which, again, I mean, you can make the argument that it's just like buying baseball cards. Now, and I'll defend the Labubu people, even though, like, I don't, that's defending the Labubu people, but, like, even with that being said, baseball cards, I think a pack of baseball cards is like not even $8. I don't even, like, let me see. 7 packs, 12 cards per pack, 84 total cards. Literally, like, way more than one. And this is, you're getting 84 cards for $25, where, like, a Labubu pack is like $30 for like one Labubu. I don't know, just insane.
Both year over year. This is Disney adult behavior for a different product. It's the same psychology, the same addiction mechanics, and the same arrested development with a different mascot. The market data tells the story. Kidults, who are basically adults buying toys for themselves, now spend more than parents buying for children in the global toy market.
Rach, what's Hugsy doing in the crib with Emma?
Oh, well, she was just crawling around and she found him, so I just let her sleep with him. That's all right, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a stuffed animal. You know, it's for kids, not for adults.
In the US alone, adults accounted for $6.7 billion in toy sales in 2023, while in Europe, kidults contributed $4.8 billion, representing 28% of the toy market. But this isn't an accident.
Again, how are we getting these numbers? Because adults 9 times out of 10 have to pay are paying regardless, even if it's for a kid. So like, how are we making the, like, are you asking everybody, hey, who are you buying this for? Oh, this is for me. Like, I don't know. I don't understand how exactly we're getting that information.
Corporations share data, insights, and psychological research at industry conferences that explicitly discuss extending childhood consumption patterns into adulthood. Marketing journals publish papers on leveraging nostalgia for adult consumers. And research shows consumers are willing to pay 10 to 15% more for products that evoke nostalgic feelings. This
Right.
is coordinated, intentional, and calculated. They know exactly what they're doing. And what they're actually doing is training people to prioritize emotional gratification over financial responsibility. The marketing has shifted from buy this if you can afford it to you deserve this regardless of your financial situation. They're normalizing the idea that you should ignore bills, skip savings, and accumulate debt because you've earned a treat. They don't care that you'll be bankrupt in 5 years or that your retirement account is empty. They need profits now. And they've figured out that people who think like children don't think about long-term consequences. And it's working everywhere. Apple turns product launches into religious events, while Supreme charges $500 for logo t-shirts. Fast food chains love using nostalgia marketing with collectible toys to get you through the doors, and Hollywood pumps out endless reboots and sequels. Then you have social media manipulating dopamine with infinite scroll and retail pushing Squishmallows, Funko Pops, and any collectible with artificial rarity. We're not citizens anymore. We're consumers chasing feelings from when we were 8 years old, while corporations sell those feelings back to us at market.
We is a lot of people. Oh my god. Hey, I don't. How much longer is in this video? I feel like I got all I needed out of this video. We is a lot of people, and maybe it's just me, cause like I said, I don't buy like stuff that I can't afford. Like, I'd say the one thing that like I actively buy that I can't afford, and I'm saying that, but I can't afford it, is like to go to Pistons games. But like, I find actual like enjoyment in that. Like, I guess there's a little bit of nostalgia because I like basketball, but other than that, like, yeah, no, there's nothing. There's nothing really here. Is this the first time I'm gonna stop a video early in a reaction? He's just harboring the same points, and I disagree. Yeah, like, I will say these Disney and these companies are predatory in the way they go about things, and they might be some of them are weaponizing your love for these things and your nostalgia for these things to buy things. Makes sense. You get what I'm saying? Then again, why would I buy something that doesn't make me feel like, what is that? I don't know what it's called, but it's like, is the like giving up, it's like paying for something gonna give you like the emotional value or something. I can't remember what it's called, but like obviously that's the only way I'd be giving up money, is if I wanted it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like this is less of a, I feel like that only works if you're dumb enough to let it work. I don't go to Disney every year, and I love theme parks. I don't go to Disney every year. I don't go to Universal every year. I don't go to Cedar Point every year, and that would be the financially smart one to go to. You get what I'm saying? If I were to do one every year, you get what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like we're saying, oh, they need to stop marketing and being like this, but it's working. It's working. This is like the OnlyFans thing to me. Like, when dudes are like, oh, girls shouldn't have an OnlyFans, this, that, and the third. I don't want a woman with an OnlyFans. I'm gonna keep it real. But at the end of the day, the reason why women are making OnlyFans is because dumb niggas are buying OnlyFans, and they're getting money from it. As long as you dumb motherfuckers keep giving these companies this money, then they're going to keep marketing and keep doing these things. This is not really a corporate, like, this is not a big problem, bro. The solution to the problem is simple. Grow a brain, actually use your financial literacy, and just don't pay for things. That's literally it. That's literally it. Anyway, solid video from Internet Education, bro. All in all, the adults are not people that are just buying things, okay? Those are just consumers as it is. Poseidon Entertainment, and I'll put his video probably up somewhere. Poseidon Entertainment made a great video. I actually watched it off camera, so I'm not gonna react to it on stream, because I like my reactions to be stuff that I haven't watched before, so you guys can get my full reaction, obviously. But Poseidon Entertainment put it like this: Disney adults are not just shameless consumers. They are, as part of being a Disney adult, but a Disney adult is someone that can bypass like all the other stuff and can be poorly marketed to, where a Disney adult can see a pen with Mickey Mouse on it and will buy it whether it's $2 or whether it's $52. You get what I'm saying? They could see some sunglasses with Mickey Mouse on it, and whether it's $5 or $500, they'll buy it. No matter what it is, as long as it's Disney related, a Disney adult will always buy it, and they will always stand by it, no matter how crappy or bad or rushly made it is. And that doesn't only go for theme parks, it goes for movies, TV shows, and everything. There's Disney adults are people that watch the live action Disney movies that suck and sit there and say that they're the greatest thing ever because they don't know how to tell Disney no. A Disney adult is not just simply a person that doesn't know how to use their money. That's an idiot. That's just a person with no financial literacy. And that this is not about Disney adults. This is about people with poor decision making and poor financial literacy. Disney adults, that's a whole nother psychosis. If you guys do want to see me react to that video, it won't be a fresh reaction. I want you guys to understand, but let me know down in the comments. But anyway, our time has come to an end over here on YouTube, twitch.tv/Brando or whatever. If you want to see the reactions live in real time, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.